Hello everyone. So here is the Cardassian ship now completed. So I've been working on a lot of vintage Trek kits recently, and here's the base, by the way. I made it so that I found a rod. It's not exactly the size that fits in here, but it's good enough. But yeah, out of all the vintage Trek kits that I've been building recently, this one is by far the best. I don't know if round 2 made any changes to this. I kind of doubt it. But yeah, let's see here. So a lot of these detail parts here, this engine part here, these impulse engines, these machinery sections in here, all these I painted with Hull Red XF9 Tamiya, and they work alright. They're not the exact color. None of the colors on here are exact to what is really on the filming model, but I did the best I could, and I think it's fine. The Pincer back here, I painted that with a craft paint from some random company that I got for like $4, and it sucked. But once I put a dull coat on it and did some detail paint, and it turned out fine for what it needed to be. It's a little dark, but it matches the whole red, so that's kind of what I was going for. In my last video, although I did correct it, I mentioned how this engine piece was not lit. Well, turns out it was. So I did make it lit on mine. Now lit. Here's the deflector dash weapon on the front. You can see that. Fluorescent paint in action. Yeah, and the warp engine pieces were just, I did a Tamiya clear coat of orange and then backed it with some white, and yeah. And you have all these little triangles all over the hull. These are weapons, apparently. And same thing with the engines, except I painted the bottom white. And that kind of adds another layer to it. Now, this is the base coat is just the plastic. But what I did is I did a dull coat, and then I used this black panel line accent color. I did it over the dull coat, and on the actual filming model, there are panels that are kind of, you could tell where they put a mask over it, and then they did a kind of an airbrush of it was kind of a brownish, tannish color. And I wanted to kind of replicate that, but using the accent color. So I took random panels, although I did mirror them, and I'd put a little bit of the accent color, and then I'd take some paper towel and I'd just wipe it, and that would leave some streaks which kind of suggest weathering. Yeah, it kind of created kind of a panel effect, which I thought was cool. So it does kind of give the model a little bit of depth to it. And yeah, didn't really have any issues with it. Kind of all turned out really well. I'm really happy with it. And it's nice to have a model of this thing, of an adversary ship. I have the Romulan Warbird currently in the works, and I have 2500 scale Enterprise D in the works, and I have Runabout in the works. So I'll probably be doing a video on the Runabout, but not on any of the others. Yeah, yeah. These are pretty much gone. Sometimes you can find them on eBay, but yeah, this re-release round 2 is kind of they've discontinued it for the time being, but I'm sure they'll re-release it again. So maybe you'll get your chance. Oh, and the windows I painted with gotta be here somewhere. I know it is. I painted with a toothpick, a plastic toothpick that I shaved down, and I used flat white, and the windows are actually, the rim of them is raised on here, and that kind of just gave me a guide and worked out rather well. There are a few windows missing here on the front of the bridge, but, and I don't know why they do this, because on the Romulan Warbird that they re-released, they did the window decals. Well, the window decals on the Warbird are lit. They're white, you know. But on all of their Starfleet ships, and on this Cardassian ship, all the window decals are unlit. It's like, what are you doing? They're lit in the show. You know, why wouldn't you have some of them white? I mean, like on the Enterprise D, some of them were lit, some of them were unlit. It's like, I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing it wrong. But you know, it is what it is. There's a lot of blue markings on here. These were represented in the kit with decals, but I just painted them. There were a couple where, like on the bridge here, there was no raised panel to follow, so I used the decals for that. But every time there was a raised panel that I could just paint, I painted it, because I didn't want to sit there with decal solvent, you know, all day long. So yeah, happy with it. So yeah, here's the video on it. Hope you guys like this. I know I don't film them as I'm building them, but I don't really have a whole lot of space for that, and I don't want to have to work around a camera, because that can negatively impact the build. So you guys just kind of have to, you know, be content with seeing the kind of before and after, I guess. Yeah. So there's the 1/750th scale Cardassian Galor class. I sincerely hope that round 2, since they've just released the 2500th scale Keldon class, I hope that they release a Keldon class in this scale as well. Because it would be a fairly easy, you know, model to release. They're just talking about creating this upper section, which they already have a CG file for, and the 2 fins that go back here, and again, they already have the CG files for that. They would just need to make more detailing, finer detail for the larger scale, but yeah, other than that, to me it would seem like a a relatively easy thing to do, and they could make money off of it, you know, because there are plenty of people that like that version in some ways more than the Galor class, and I'm one of them, because what can I say, I like variants and I like fins. So yeah, anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching, and